Oftentimes when people think of turkey hunting, they think using blinds and decoys and relying on calls. Every now and then it's not a bad idea to hunt them similar to you would deer, as in patterning them, figuring out where they're at and where they want to go next. So while you're out kind of getting a feel for your farm and looking for the turkeys, after you find out roughly where they roost in the mornings or in the afternoon or in the evenings, find out what fields are close, your ag fields. They'll hang around and they'll strut in pastures. They'll go to crop fields to feed, and then after you find out which fields are close to their roost, you can go out and it's simple as driving by and stopping and glassing them. Or even trail cameras are a good option to get an idea on when they're coming through, which fields they tend to prefer more. So this farm that we hunted, we've had success on it in the past. We know there's a good number of birds there. There's a large ag field in the bottoms that is mostly followed by a creek. And one of the ways that you can get in closer to your turkeys is to use a creek like that. And we knew that turkeys would come close to that creek at least in one pass in this field. So when you're using a creek like this, or say a hill or any other landscape, you can tend to reposition yourself fairly easily, which is awesome if you're in a situation where they're not responding to calls or you yourself are in a time crunch. You can get moved into a better position fairly quickly and quietly.
So I've been turkey hunting with Ian for a couple years now, and I've been able to get a couple birds under my belt. And with this season, I decided to introduce a friend of mine into turkey hunting, and it's something that he's been wanting to get into and experience himself. So he was a top priority to get a bird first, and if there was any time left in the season, I'd go out and try and get a bird for myself.
If you got a hole, you got an open lane there, man, take it.
So after my friend Andres was able to get his first bird, I was pretty much left with just one day left in the season. So we pretty much decided that, when we go out, we're gonna try and pull out all the stops we could to try and make it happen. And, with just very minimum time left in the season, there's nothing really else we could do besides, basically go big or go home. So for the afternoon hunt, we had decided that we were going to hunt this bottom field where I killed a turkey last year. And so we know there's plenty of birds out there, and we're gonna go out there and give it a shot. And as we're walking down the trail, making our way to the bottom field, we heard our first gobble. And so then we decided to stop, and Ian started glassing, and we happened to see a couple of toms strutting up on the hillside, and we decided to fall back a little bit and just see what they were doing, see what kind of movement they were doing, what they were gonna, if they were gonna go down the lane or maybe go down the bottom field like we were hoping they would. So we decided to stand back and just wait it out and see what they were going to do.
There's a whole bunch of them now. A couple more looking, so we gotta be still for sure. Oh yeah, oh my gosh. One of them's running down the lane.
So as we were sitting there waiting to see what the birds were going to do, one of them actually showed up almost within range, and we were hoping the other birds would show up as well. But unfortunately, when they did show up, they were a little further out of range than what we were hoping for. So that kind of changed up our game plan and what we were thinking of what we were originally wanting to do. So basically at that point, we knew the birds weren't going to get any closer to us, and the only option we were left with was to pretty much get down and dirty and get on our hands and knees and make our way towards the birds and hope in the process of doing that we don't get busted by them.
Let's go.
So as we sneaked up the creek bank, we were able to see over the field, and you know, right off the bat, we had a small group of hens about 15 yards to the left.
Do not move, Manny. Can you see that one? I don't see it. Do not move.
And you know, not only that, we also had a couple does off to our right. So, you know, not only are we trying to get close to these birds, these toms, but now we have, you know, hens to the left, does to the right. You know, at this point, I'm thinking like we're gonna get busted by these, either the hens or the does, and that just made everything, you know, even more trickier than it already was at that point.
Wait. Can't tell if it's a tom or a jake. Just don't move. It's a jake. Is it? Yep, there's hens to our left. Be very still, the tom's to the right. The tom does not see us, it's to the right. But just be still. Do not move. Okay. Get up, can you see him now? Yeah, I see him. Okay. Do you see that deer? Okay, that tom's looking to that jake. Raise up slowly and kill him. Go after him, go. Don't let him run off.
Dude, never fails a friend. What a sock. Woo! What the heck? Holy smokes, dude. Oh man. Holy smokes, dude. What a freaking hunt.
That's how you do that.
Holy crap. Dude, those hens were like under 20 yards.
Dude, I'm surprised they didn't run off.
Ultimately, this season was awesome and exciting. You know, I was able to get my friend his very first bird, and you know, the icing on the cake on top of all that was that I was able to get a bird as well with as little time as, you know, we both had for this season.